Wir erwarten jetzt einen Mann, 38 Jahre alt, der gilt als der reichste Unternehmer unter 40 in ganz Asien. 1998 hat er die Softwarefirma Cellframe gegründet. Laut ihm produziert die Firma den zweitbeliebtesten Prozessor nach Microsoft und damit sei er Billionär geworden. Wie das funktioniert hat und wie sein Unternehmen genau aussieht, hier ist er, Arun Pudur, mit dem Vortrag Wanna be a Billionaire? Nein, Wanna be a Unicorn. Welcome.
Thank you for inviting me.
That's your stage. So
Thank
have
you.
fun and see
Thank
you in
you.
a minute.
Good evening. So glad to be here in Germany. Other places also I have given speeches, but Germany is always a place I like to visit. And I'm quite happy that I'm not overdressed, because people usually talk about me being overdressed anytime I give a delivery or speech in Silicon Valley. So today, what we're going to talk about is something that everybody here is interested to do. It's a startup con, and the basic idea or premise of any startup company, end of the day, is to become a unicorn. And what we are talking today, the concept will be pretty similar to that. Okay, I think this is the one. So the basic discussions or presentation that I want to do is to make you understand what it takes to become a unicorn in just 15 minutes or less. It will not take much time. 15 minutes, get the concept, how to become a unicorn company in about 3 to 5 years' time. So does this picture look familiar to anybody? Does this picture look familiar to anybody? Anybody can raise your hand. Okay, we have a couple of people. Okay, 2 people. So this is where most of the unicorns started their careers. It's not in some flashy, very expensive space in the Silicon Valley or in Bangalore or in Frankfurt or in Cologne or wherever. Everybody started their business somewhere very, very small. Some people started at their mother's house, in their garage. Some people started in a motel. Some people started in their friend's garage. Everybody started somewhere. So you don't recognize these places, right? Do you recognize them now? Do you recognize these brands? Each of these brands were the same pictures that I showed you. That's where they began. They began behind a garage, be it his wife's garage, mother's house, in a motel, somewhere very, very small. What does that mean? Anybody has a chance to become successful. Anybody has a chance to build a unicorn. Anybody has a chance to become a billionaire. It's not very complicated. It doesn't require you to have $100 million from a VC, raise $10 million over here, raise another $50 million over there. All that you need to do is build pretty fantastic products. And I'm going to tell you how these companies built, how they have done it, how I've done it myself. This is my story. I began my career at the age of 13. I made my first dollar. Age of 21, I made my first million. The age of 26, I made my first billion. Last year, I was called Asia's richest under 40, and in the world, 10th richest under 40 globally. So my company is called Cellframe. This last year, we did $6 billion in business. We are a very stealth company, but we still make a lot of revenue. Technology-wise, we focus on products that generates revenue, not just valuation. We are not interested to just build a brand which gives you a global name, but we want to build a brand that makes money. End of the day, everybody's here for that. Everybody wants to build their business, build $1 billion in revenue, and grow. That's the bottom line. What's the money in your pocket end of the day? That's what matters. Technology is one thing, but you need to build your revenue. We have diversified into several other businesses apart from technology. Every business I went in, I had zero experience. When I began at 13, I had zero experience. I used to fix bikes, scooters. That's where I learned my business. I understood the basic concept of sales and marketing, how to interact with customers, handling problems, interacting, doing marketing, everything. We didn't go to some fancy college in Harvard or, some expensive business school to learn business. You can learn business even sitting in your garage. I literally started my career in the garage, fixing bikes, having grease in my hand, having petrol in my hand, and I used to do that. I used to go to school in the morning, come back in the afternoon, open up my shop, and I used to franchise. At the age of 14, I was franchising my garage. I'm from Bangalore, India. So that's how I began to make my money. That's where you learn the concept. If you don't get your hands dirty, don't understand the business, you're never going to learn. If you go to a fancy school, that doesn't guarantee you to become successful. If that is the case, every guy coming out of Harvard will be a billionaire. Every professor sitting in Stanford will be a billionaire. No, they don't. It's what you know. End of the day, it's you that matters. It's not your brand. It's not your product. It's nothing. It's you that matters. That's what we have achieved. And every billionaire that you see today in the world is the same story. Nobody has any different story. Everybody began at a very, very small level and grew to become big. Nobody came with $1 billion check in their hand and said, okay, today I'm a unicorn. It doesn't happen overnight. We started a new company, and till date, until 2 years ago, I never raised a single dollar in VC, no loans. I don't own anything to anybody. Only 2 years ago, we started a new IoT business called Browsify, which was called by several companies, several magazines, a billionaire startup. And that is the first time we raised money. We never raised money before that. So you can understand by that. And my passion was to buy private jets. There's a time I had about 8 private jets. So whatever your dreams are, whatever your aspirations are, it doesn't require you to raise money from outside, struggle, or do whatever. Focus on what you basically do. So I have several names. They call me self-made, accidental, wannabe, inspirational, fierce. Several names they'll give for you. There will be people who love you. There will be people who hate you. That's going to happen. That happens in school. It happens in a neighborhood. It happens once you become very famous. It's never going to go. It's always going to be there. So that's the way business runs. Let me share with you a few stories, Asian successful stories. I'm sure you heard of Jack Ma. Has anybody heard of Jack Ma? Okay, see about 8, 9 people. Fantastic. Jack Ma literally made a $40 billion company sitting in China, in so-called socialist, communist China. He built a $40 billion company which literally owns everything. From a screw to an airplane, you can order online with Alibaba. That's his company name. I'm sure you heard of the company, but you don't know how big he is. Yahoo's only valuation, when Yahoo was sold a few months ago for $4 billion, it was not for Yahoo search engine or algorithm or whatever. It was only because they made one smart move of investing in Alibaba, a few $1 million, which was just, you take your money out and some coins fell down for Yahoo and said, okay, here, Jack Ma, take it. That's basically what they invested. And when Google went to them and said, hey, $1 million, buy me. No, we don't want to buy you. That's Yahoo's story. They went back again. Google said $5 billion. They said, no, we don't want to buy you. And what happened today to Yahoo? It's gone. So literally, this is how he built his business. No VCs, nothing. Literally with great presence, he built a company which now owns every kind of online business, operating systems, mobile companies, browser companies, software companies, e-commerce. I mean, e-commerce is his bread and butter. Literally everything is owned by him. This guy, his name is Baba Ramdev. He comes from India. As funny as he looks, he's actually what you call a priest or a saint or whatever you call him. He's into yoga. He doesn't do anything at all. 2 years ago, he said that I want to get rid of all these companies who are taking money away from India, and I want to keep all the money in India. He started a brand called Patanjali. After the discussion, you can Google it. The company was doing $0. He has no brand endorsements. He doesn't have James Bond coming and saying, yo, buy this toothpaste. You know, this is the best toothpaste after whatever in the world. He has no marketing budget. He's butt of jokes for all the media because he doesn't spend a dime on advertising. Every media says he's the worst thing that can happen to the Indian market. He built now a $20 billion FMCG business. You look at his packaging, you will say, wow, what the heck is this packaging? He sells everything now, from jeans to T-shirts to rice, you name it, he sells. In 2 years, he's kicked out Nestle. You name the brand that you have grown up with, they are out of India. He said, in 5 years, give me another 5 years, there'll be no foreign brands inside India. We'll be the largest brand. Did he raise VC? No. Did he do pitches? No. Does he look like a guy who's worth $20 billion? No. Is he on the Forbes list? No. He doesn't give a hoot says about any list. He built a business with the focus that he wants to be the largest FMCG in the world. And in 2 years, if you can deliver me $20 billion, I'll cut a check of $1 billion right now. If you can deliver me the same results. These are the stories that you should learn. Not the stories of one success out of 100,000 people losing money in the Silicon Valley. That's not the model you can grow in. Oh, I don't want to make any money. I want to just burn money. How much money I can burn off the VC so that I can get a $10 billion valuation. If that's your concept, you're not going to survive. You hear one success story about 100,000 failures. These companies start with literally nothing, and they become multi-billion-dollar companies. Real money, not paper money, not valuation money, real money. That's where you need to focus on. Does anybody know about the Chinese bamboo? This is my first time to Cologne. So I was looking at the cathedral over here. I'm pretty sure you know at least that, right? How many years did it take to build? How many years? Anyone knows that? Yeah, I'm a foreigner. You should be knowing this. 600 years to build this cathedral. 600 years. I'll give you the story of Chinese bamboo. Why? When you put a seed of a Chinese bamboo, it can grow literally anywhere, okay? You put it in. For 5 years, right, you'll only see it growing about this much. 5 years. It doesn't grow at all. You keep putting it fertilizers, you keep putting it water, you keep giving it sunshine, you keep taking care of it. The size of the bamboo for literally 5 years will be possibly only 2 inches. It doesn't grow at all. And then, the 5th year, you wake up in the morning, it's 35 feet. Within 9 weeks, it reached 90 feet. That's how fast it grows. Why? 5 years, it was establishing its network, its roots, growing in strength, in stealth. It grows stronger and stronger and stronger over 5 years. And then overnight, it grows so tall. It's one of the tallest bamboos in the world, strongest bamboos in the world. Literally, they build houses, they can, no matter how much tension you give it, it doesn't break. They use it for ladders, for everything you can imagine in the world. Do you understand what does it mean? You understand, every startup is like a Chinese bamboo. No matter how much you get advertisement, you give money on TechCrunch, you get famous on Forbes here, it doesn't matter. If you don't have the stuff, if you don't have the network, if you don't have the roots, you will shut down. No matter what people talk about you, doesn't matter. You don't have to look glamorous. You don't have to have talent. Take Kim Kardashian. Does she have any talent? She has some talents, which we all know. But hey, for her talent, she was on the stupid Forbes front page. I mean, come on. If she can go on the front page, what is the value of Forbes anymore? It's not there anymore. So basically, any idiot can get on the front page. You get it? You'll never see Baba Ramdev going on the front page because it doesn't fit the glamour profile. You want to be glamorous? Go into adult business. You get glamorous, you get laid. That's all. You want to do business? You don't have to be famous to do business. You need to make money. You want to make money? That's what I'm going to teach you today. So these brands, I'm pretty sure you know. Okay? Uber, Groupon, Airbnb, of course. Because all of them spend a truckload of money with the media to get the publicity they want. And the VCs make sure that they get noticed because they put a lot of money into this. Uber burns billions of dollars every day. Every day. They have still not made any profit. But we all know Uber. We all use Uber. But you do know they were kicked out of China in 1 year. They're out of China, bye-bye. They're not there anymore. Next from India, they're going to be kicked out. Every country is doing it. Why? Local customization. I'll explain to you that in a bit. Groupon, the same thing. Airbnb, the same thing. World's largest hotel company is Airbnb today. No infrastructure, no hotels. They have nothing. They don't own anything at all. World's largest transportation company is Uber. Do they own taxis? Do they own cars? What do they own? Nothing. So basically, this is nothing. Sharing economy is nothing but socialism. It's a vulgar word if you're a socialist, right? But what are you doing here? Just sharing the car with everybody. That's what socialists do. They say, my car belongs to everybody. That's what Uber does. Groupon says, bring 100 people. Let me go buy you a coupon in the restaurant. So go to the restaurant and say, hey, I'm bringing 100 people. Give me a discount. That's basically the concept, but it's been packaged as sharing economy. So anything that you think is incorrect, oh, that is not right, this is right, who told you that? Somebody told you that this is right or this is wrong. But the businesses, when they operate, we don't see black and white. We live in the gray. End of the day, you need to make, what do you need to make end of the day? Money. Exactly, money. No money, no honey. So this is a pretty interesting village, which I visited, couple of years ago. It's called Huzai, or, I'm not Chinese, so if any Chinese here, please don't mind my pronunciation. Google this particular village. Every person in this village is a multi-millionaire. Everybody. The whole resources in that village, in the same style of sharing economy, they put together. Everything that comes out of that particular village goes back about 40% goes to the people, 60% goes to the government. 40%, basically tax. We all pay tax. If you're unlucky enough to be in France, you pay 65%. So that's the same concept in which this village works as well. 60% goes to the government, 40% stays with the people. And one old man said, I want all of you to become millionaires. They literally, everybody has got bungalows. You Google online and see all the pictures, and everything is there online. They have helicopters to take them to hospitals. They are the world's best schools, best medical, everything free. Same sharing economy. Imagine this is a startup. It's the same concept. So it doesn't matter if it's an app or if it involves a large village or a town today. The concept is the same. It doesn't differ. The lessons are the same. Even if you're running a country, it's the same. The same principles apply for whatever that you do. Let me give you, because people are going to ask me, okay, what's the top, options for me if I want to become a unicorn? Talking about technology, the things that are right now happening, which I am doing as well, is Internet of Things, which we all know. We already are part of the network until the robots wake up to take control of us or whatever. But Internet of Things is the thing that is happening globally, so much so that even my toothbrush can tell me whether I have cancer or if I have any issues. Brush your teeth in the morning, it's going to say, oh, oops, we found out that you have cancer today. That's how Internet of Things is working. Literally 50 billion devices, dumb devices which are dumb today, are going to be connected through IoT. The opportunities are endless. This is not a $1 trillion market, it's a $20, $30 trillion market. It's going to change the way you think, you do. Everything is going to be interconnected. We already have smartphones. We already have smart TVs. I mean, people over here, some of you would have experienced, we used to have something called as telegrams. Do anybody know what is a telegram? No, it's not the app. We used to go to the post office, right? And if I had to send some message to my father that he needs to come back early for some reason, I said, Dad, leave immediately today, urgent. So we used to use, the first SMS concept was from Telegram, because we used the less number of letters, the less it costs. So there was no SMSs. So Telegram used to be the concept. So now we have SMS, we have WhatsApp and WeChat and a million other options. So Internet of Things is going to make the same thing what SMS has made to postal services today. They have grown forward. There are no more letters. You just write an email sitting here, your job is done. So Internet of Things, adaptive security, social workspaces, robotics. These are the most sought after unicorns globally. Every company which has break the code to do the right thing, they will become a unicorn. That's guaranteed. And we are in each one of these businesses. My company, Cellframe, is into each one of these businesses. Okay, technology is new to your cup of tea or cup of coffee or water or Red Bull, whatever. You can go on to resolving these problems. Wireless power grid. You understand what is a power grid, right? The biggest loss in electricity happens during transmission. It's about 60% loss. So people have been trying to crack the code. How can we transport power wirelessly? I mean, 10 years ago, a concept of wireless telephone was impossible to think. If you didn't have a hardwire cable coming to your phone and go, hello, pick it up at home, people never imagined mobile phones. So today we live in that reality. So the same thing is possible with power grids. Internet is now basic necessity. My wife can survive without water, but not without internet. She can say, water, okay, I can drink later in the evening. But no internet, it's not going to work. So that's how important internet is today, because kids don't go and read anymore. I ask a question, they already find the answer. Because we have Einsteins everywhere, because of internet. So cracking the code on providing internet facilities to remotest parts of the world is the thing that is going to make you a unicorn or a billionaire, whatever your option is. Natural power source, you'll say, yeah, we have solar, we have wind and all that, but none of it is cost effective enough to make any sense. If you want to have a solar, you need to spend about $20,000. I mean, even for a house. But we're talking about changing the entire concept of power. You need to have a concept which will be affordable, sustainable, and easily fixable, where you can go, fix it, as good as done. Like taking your mobile phone, putting it in the charge, I'm done. Driving hybrid cars is not going to serve the earth, because end of the day, who is generating the power? By using coal. So that's not the solution. The solution has to be an independent off-the-grid supply. Water, as we see it, it's happening around us, whether we say yes or no. Water is going to be the biggest challenge. Water is the biggest business. I'm in the business of water as well. I've diversified. It's the biggest business that is going to end up in the world. And if desalination, if you can crack it, to set up a desalination plant is hundreds of millions of dollars. That's another idea which you can look at. And then weather prediction. If you can predict when the earthquake is going to happen, I think you have a multi-billion-dollar company even before you think you can do anything with it. There's some of the unicorn ideas. Because typically the first question people ask me is, Mr. Arun, what's the billion-dollar idea? Do you have an idea? There are people who just walk to me and say, can you give me a billion-dollar idea? People are there who do ask this concept. So here are some of the ideas. So this is my cheat sheet. When we go to exams, we always have a cheat sheet to be in a position to answer very well in the exam. We try to condense 1,000, 2,000 pages into one single sheet and expect us to get A grade or top, be top in the class. So this is basically a cheat sheet. Can you understand anything from this, from these three words? Rope, team, and the number 43,200,000. Does anybody understand this? I'm not talking about rope to hang yourself if you don't make money. Do you understand anything by this?
Needs to be simple.
Exactly. Rope. Why I talk about rope? My cheat sheet. If you give a German Shepherd a tug of war, give it a rope and try to pull from it. With the life of it, it is going to pull and pull and pull. It will be obsessed to take that rope away from you. It never lets go. If I'm not a cat person, if you are, good luck with it. But I'm a dog guy. I used to breed dogs. That is one of my businesses as well. That's where I'm in the age of 14, 15, I diversified into breeding dogs. I learned this concept from them. They are very focused. Let me playing ball. Same thing. You pick up a ball, that's it. He knows. Switches on. He will run. Even if you do that, he's already gone. That's how fast he goes. He doesn't think twice. He's gone. Same thing with a rope. If you go back home, if you have a dog, just take a rope, give it to his mouth, and try to pull. You don't have to teach him. He'll be so obsessed with that rope, he will never let go. That's how you should be obsessed about any business that you do. If you're not obsessed, don't do the business. I'm pretty sure all of us had the first girlfriend or first boyfriend we were obsessed with. I'm not talking about stalking level obsession, but we always had that. So it's pretty similar to that. If you are not obsessed with what you do, you're not going to be great. You can never become great. You have to have that obsession, single-minded focus. Live in the now, as they say. That's what dogs do. Dogs don't think about, oh, yesterday he didn't give me the cookie. No. On the spot, give the tug of war, it's obsessed. That's where the rope concept makes a lot of sense. 3 simple words for you to remember. Rope, team, and 43 million. I'll explain this next one. For any great company, any great billionaire, anybody, including myself, we rely on just 5 people. I may have 13,000 people working for me directly, indirectly, but only 5 people is whom I trust explicitly. You alone can't build a billion-dollar company. It is never going to happen. People may assume, yes, I will do it. I can make it happen. I will get it done. Not everybody has a WhatsApp with 17 people to sell the company for $40 billion. If you need to build a team, you need to have 5 people whom you trust with everything you got. There is no exception. Believe me, I have spoken to several billionaires. Everybody has this crack team. Be it is Warren Buffett, be it Bill Gates, whoever. They have these 5 people they go to. It doesn't matter. Oh, you don't need a finance guy, or I need a technology guy, I need a HR guy. No. 5 people who know how to do business and who are loyal to you. That is the reason why every time you go to a VC, they say, who is your co-founder? Have you found a co-founder? It reflects. Immediate question will come to you. I'm sure I've given pitches today. That's the same thing they'll ask you. Who is your co-founder? Like always they say, show me a friend, I'll tell you about you. Same thing here. If I see your co-founders, if I see your management team, I will know whether you will be successful or not. You need to have this magic number, 5 people. 5 only. Rest of them doesn't matter. Remember 5 names. It doesn't have to remember all the 16,000 names who work for you. 5 people is a minimum necessity, and this is not only me. Any industry you go, not just technology business, any business you go, if you reach a certain level, you need to have these 5 people that you can explicitly trust. So after this meeting, pick up your phone and favor 5 people whom you trust. Or if you don't trust anybody, bad luck. The last one, 43,200,000. is the amount of minutes. I only took 15 minutes, so you have quite a bit left with you. This is the amount of time you have in your lifetime to become great. To be in a position to next year possibly stand here and give this speech. You need to have, this is the amount of time you have. It's already ticking. Every minute you lose, you're losing money. This is the amount of time anybody has in their lifetime. That's about 30 years. That's a long time. It's a huge time. Because typical industry, 100 years is 1 year in technology business. And when you release a product today, 7, tomorrow morning, next year you go, it's 8, then 9, and 10. That never used to happen before. You used to release one TV, 10 years later another TV used to come. But today, you walk in, you walk out, oh, that's already old. We need to buy that. That's how the concept is. So this is the amount of time that you basically have to achieve whatever great that you want to achieve. So 5 things that you can take away from this discussion today, or this event, awesome event. Start focusing on location-specific challenges. Don't think about global. Focus on the problems that is there within your area, or within your city, within your country. Just focus on that. Be so intense that you are the best in that region. Once you're the best, then you can go and conquer the rest of the world. If you don't have a perennial source of income, if you don't have money coming in to your business, you can't do anything. The most easiest way to do is conquer your local problems. Whatever the challenges it can be. It doesn't have to be technology, it can be non-tech, whatever you want. Local tech is localization, focusing on local problems is what is going to take you to the next level. I can add more over this about bootstrapping. Does everybody know what's a bootstrap? Okay, 2 people. Okay, this is Startup Con. I expected everybody to raise their hands. Bootstrap basically means you don't take a dime from anybody. You invest everything you got. You sell your silver. You sell your gold. You sell everything you have to build what you dream about. If you walk to me and say, oh, Mr. Arun, I have this concept. It's going to be $1 billion worth concept. I need to invest $100,000. My question is, how much did you invest first? If you don't believe in your dream enough to invest money, your own money, your friend's money, your family's money, your mother's savings money, I'm not going to believe you. Why should I believe you when you don't believe yourself? That's where the concept of bootstrap comes. The trust of an investor is only gained when he sees all the chips are in. All your money is into your concept. You've given your entire life savings into the business. If you're not ready to take the risk, don't go to a VC. You're just wasting your time. He's not going to believe you. That's why you'll see, why is he getting 100 million investment? Why is he getting 10 million? I'm not getting any. But you never look at how he began. Why is he getting investment? Because he's put all of his money into his business. And we can see through you. When somebody gives me a pitch, I'll see through you. I've listened to thousands of pitches. But bottom line, if you don't invest money, why should I invest in you? Why? Is my money easy, your money that difficult? Or your money is more loud than mine? That doesn't make sense, does it? If your friend comes and asks you money, you're going to say, no, you didn't invest any money. Why should I invest in you? Remember this. That's why bootstrapping is very important. Build the concept, prove the concept, make some money, come and talk to me. Then I'll trust you. Stop focusing on valuations. It's the exact opposite of whatever people tell you. The minute you become obsessed about valuation, about your company, you lose focus. Because all that you want is, oh, I want to have $1 billion valuation on paper. One letter from me, my investment company, saying that, oh, your startup is $1 billion, it's $1 billion. Nobody's going to argue. That's how valuations work today. You know that, right? Technology businesses, you don't have to generate valuation. Generate valuation is based on what was your last fundraise. There are several companies who are now downgrading themselves. People who raised for $6 billion and today they're worth only $100 million. There's one Chinese company called Xiaomi. I don't know whether you heard of it. Last year, they were worth $40 billion. This year, they were $3 billion valuation. If you start focusing so much on valuation like how they did, you're going to be finished tomorrow morning. Stop focusing on valuation. Build a phenomenal product that people cannot live without. Phenomenal service that people love. Automatically, a valuation will go up. If you get obsessed about valuation, trying to get as much as valuation up as possible, but you don't deliver, poof, tomorrow morning you're gone. Your career ends. Once the valuation reverses, no VC, no investor in your lifetime is going to look at your company again. No matter come up with the best thing after bread, we're going to say, we're going to trust you. We don't trust you anymore. So stop focusing on valuation. Focus on revenues and not acquisitions. This concept is now pretty hot. A startup comes in, raise $60 million, they go and see, oh, okay, I like him. Let me give you $2 million. I'll buy you, I'll buy you, I'll buy you, I'll buy you. That's not going to happen. I give you two concepts. Microsoft. They go and buy every crap company available, $20 billion for LinkedIn, $15 billion for that, $16 billion for that, $30 billion for that. End of the day, none of them make money, then they sell it off for $200, $300 million. That's a different kind of a business, to drain the money out of a public listed company. That's a different concept. That's not your concept. Look at Apple. They sit with $700 billion, but still they'll go out if they cannot copy a technology. Yes, I said that. Apple copies technologies blatantly. They do that. You know it, I know it, but the media will not tell you that, right? The stupid AirPods was called the best thing after the best implant a human being can purchase. AirPods. Even after it was withdrawn from the market, they said, this is the beginning of implants. That's how obsessed media is because of the dollars that Apple spends for the media. But Apple will never purchase a company. You go and search online. They have never spent more than $20 million on purchasing any company. Why is that? They're sitting with $700 billion, $800 billion. They will never acquire any company. They don't do that. So you don't need to acquire companies in order to become fantastic, to become large. That's a new concept that's running in startups. Don't have to do that. And last but not the least, focus on your stakeholders. Let me tell you this, write this down. Consumers are not important for me. Customers are not important for me. Customers are not important for you. Your stakeholders are. If you take care of your employees, they'll take care of the customers. How many customers can you as an individual can handle in a day? If you're generating $1 billion revenue, can you handle every phone call? Can you handle every email? Can you handle every ticket? Every support that comes in? You can't. So whoever the idiot who said customer is God is absolutely wrong. Customer isn't God. Your employees are your God. Your investors are your God. The people who trust and give you money to invest in a concept which was so ludicrous and stupid, but they still gave you money, they're your gods, not the consumers. If you want to become a successful entrepreneur, remember to thank your employees. If your employee is happy, even if he's in a remote place somewhere in Tanzania, he's giving customer service for a person, he's your reflection, he's you. How many times have you called up and asked Bill Gates, hey, yo, my Windows is down. Can you come and fix it? You can't do that. If the customer service on the call is an idiot who gives you bad service, whom you're going to scold? Bloody Bill Gates. Every time a bad call comes from Cellframe, they scold me. They don't scold the guy who gave the service. They scold me. That is why it's very important. Be obsessed about your stakeholders. That's much more easy for you to control. You understand that? You can't control 60 million customers, but you can control your 100 employees. You can take care of them. It's so easy. And making employees, all of you were either working for somebody or still working for somebody, so you know exactly how you want to be treated. Treat in the same fashion. Don't become an asshole once you become a billionaire. That's the difference. This is what I love to do. before anybody asks me any questions. Mentorship, I do, but very selectively. Here we are looking at about 3, maybe 5 companies we're going to mentor. Companies which has the potential to become a unicorn in 3 years' time. I'm talking revenues. Valuation, I can do it in 5 minutes' time. I'll give you a letter, you're $1 billion. Go to Secure Capital, says Arun Pudur says I'm worth $1 billion and invested $1 million in my company at $1 billion valuation. Oh, okay, I agree. Vinod Khosla says, oh, I agree. That's it. Valuation is shit. No worth. Nobody's going to believe you. Just because of me, they may believe you. Just because Secure said they will believe you. But tomorrow morning, I'll say, oh, that company is shit, yo. It's only worth $10. You're worth $10. You want your future in my hand or you want your future in your hand? You want VCs to decide your future or you want to decide your future? That's the difference. Focus on revenues. I keep repeating, focus on revenues. That's what I focus on. We do growth capital. We do post-revenue. Once you have post-revenues, you come and talk to us. If you have a concept, the most brilliant concept, which will change the whole world, good luck. Go ahead and change it. But if you can't prove it, why should I believe you? That's the truth. Somebody comes and sells you a concept. Why you want to give $10 million of your money if you don't believe that person? That is why you fail to raise money. That is why the guy next to you has raised $1 billion. This person over here raised $100 million, but you have not raised any money. Simple as that. And I focus on funding and listing moving forward, because that's the biggest game there is. Can anybody tell me here, typically, any company that got listed, let it be Twitter, Facebook, or whatever IT company that you are a fanboy or fangirl of, how much do the founders own? Has anybody an idea over here? Can you tell me about Twitter? How much do the founders own of their company? 10% is a big number. You are lucky. Imagine this. You own this place, you built it with your heart, sweat, everything, and then I come and say, okay, I'll give you 100,000, I'll own 20% of this. End of the day, when you're getting listed, your company is worth 100 billion. You're not even worth $1 billion. You know why? You already prostituted all of your shares to VCs just for simple pleasure, for nothing. You are lucky if you have 8% of the company. Will you feel good? Did you get kicked out of your company? I can kick you out of the company. Unless you're smart enough to structure the company in such a fashion that you can get kicked out, but that is a part of a different discussion. But still, technically, you can be kicked out of your company any day I want. Imagine, you may think, oh, Mark Zuckerberg did this. I mean, he basically copied from other people, but still he only owns 8% or 6% of his company. How pathetic is that? You have a house and you just own just a room of it. Finally, to end, nothing you understood, just remember this. People buy you, your stories, your magic, never your products, never your services. Thank you. Thank you for your time.